So yeah, guys, the past month and a half has been very boring. As we can see right here, just on this chart, I was going to start off with this because this is a very interesting find. But even ever since April, I mean, this was just 300, pretty much an exact year of just very fun uptrending. And we have seen something like this was a boring time. This right here is basically the same concept. We're just in a really boring time right now. This always happens in crypto. This right here, I sat through all of this. It was super, super boring, but this was fun. And the way back down was fun for trading and things like that. So, people think crypto's dead, this and that, but as we can see, there's been multiple times where we just went flat for months. So this is nothing out of the ordinary, but we are expecting a breakout very soon because I know Bitcoin, it doesn't do this for long. And I will want to warn you guys that whether this is an upwards or a downwards breakout, which most of us are leaning upwards, especially because of some of the things that I found recently, it's going to be strong and hard. As we can see all other times, very strong and hard. We had this consolidation, huge, strong uptrend started. This consolidation, huge 55% drop right here. We had this consolidation right here. We had nearly a 40% rise here. This consolidation here set us up for 1,000% rise. So as we can see, and even up here, this consolidation was kind of slow, and we had a 55% drop. So I do want to say this is going to be at least a 30 to 50% move at minimum. And when we do make this move, it's going to be good because it's going to wake everything up, including the altcoins. And me and Simon were chatting earlier today, and we're wondering about the altcoins. But what I want to say about that is, of course, there's always going to be altcoins that are going to go by themselves. But right now, what I'm expecting is that once Bitcoin could break the 40K mark, that is when we'll really start seeing the breakouts on the alts. Because as of right now, even if Bitcoin continues to do this, we might get some breakouts in the alts, but we need Bitcoin to pick a direction so the alts know what to do. It's been like that forever. Unfortunately, I really wish it wasn't because, just like the stock market, even though everything could be going down in a sense, there sometimes is coins that are not, sometimes stocks that go up as well, or if things are going flat, there's sectors that are still bullish and things like that. So I really wish crypto can be like that, and I think it will happen fairly soon. But as of right now, I'm just going to start off with this. And I don't know if you guys saw in the crypto chat, but this indicator right here, this is called the BitMEX Funding and Premium Index. It's free. You guys can look at it, put on your chart as well. Neobutane made it. They gave us free access, which is very nice. But it's a very, very powerful indicator. I don't use it too often, but in times like this, I do reference it. And basically, as we can see here, when this is down, this kind of looks like volume, but when we're below this zero mark right here, basically what it is it's called something called negative funding. And all negative funding it just means that shorts are paying longs. And I know that might sound too simple, but that's really all it is when funding's negative, that means that shorts are starting to have to pay the longs their money. The longs are making their money. And on the flip side, when funding's above this zero line positive, that's when the longs are paying the shorts. So back in history, since 2019, nearly 2.5 years ago, in this large consolidation here, as we can see, most of the funding was complete.
Sorry, your screen hasn't loaded. My bad.
Oh, has it not?
Yeah, you want to quit the chat and come back in.
Yeah, has it not loaded once?
No.
Oh, okay. Let me see here.
Yeah, yo guys, let us know when that happens. We apologize for some technical difficulties on Discord.
Oh gosh.
No, it happens to me all the time as well. That's why I left that as well and came back in.
All right, give me 1 second here.
Sorry guys, let us know please.
Yeah, definitely let me know. But
Guys, the laptops,
what about now?
Someone gives us a thumbs up here. Let's go. He
Is it just spinning?
It's just, yeah, it's just
Maybe I'll try a lower quality. Should I try a lower quality? Has this happened to you before, Simon?
no. It happens, it glitches sometimes, but it has to fix it, so.
Still nothing?
No. We'll set it on. I'm gonna give it a second. All good. Oh, we're going. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, just feel free to let me know beforehand. So I am screen recording it, but last time I'm pretty sure it was fine. So if it does go off, let me know, guys. But yeah, so I'll just go over this quickly, real quick. But as we can see, this has been.
Yeah, well, no, not a lot. Just I think it was mainly just Danny and Emily. They were good.
So as we can see, guys, this is consolidation here. We've seen this multiple times before. Over here, we've seen it down here before. We've seen it right here. We've seen it right here for actually a longer period of time. We saw it right here. We even saw it up here. So this is nothing new, but when we do get the breakout, it's going to be large. And I just wanted to start with this chart because if you guys didn't see it on the crypto charts, basically this is called the funding index. It's from BitMEX, and when funding's below here, it's negative. When funding's above, it's positive. And just a simple look can show us that when the price was consolidating and funding was negative, it was basically always bullish for the last 2.5 years. Right here, we had positive funding. As we can see, positive funding up here, price went about 50% lower. Once again, even right here, I didn't highlight this, but see how this is straight negative funding? And look at this, we went from nearly 6,000 to almost 11,000. And right here, we turned positive again. That was bearish, we dropped nearly 60%. Right here, we had complete negative funding, and as we can see, we rose a lot higher. Just back in September to October, we had complete negative funding as well, and this set us up for our entire bull run. And even right here, I didn't highlight this one again, but as we can see this was straight positive funding right here. We had a near 30 to 40% pullback. This was all positive funding here, and that set us up for our drop now. But the important thing to look at is look right now. We have been very negative. Like look up here, see straight positive. This is very negative. Basically, this is a very good sign because I just showed you guys that the past 2.5 years, this has never steered us wrong. So I'm expecting at some point for us to get the breakout at least to 43 to 46. And I was showing Simon this as well, but basically the reason why I think that is because I used my simple fib retracement right here. Looking at the 0.5 to anywhere to the golden ratio. It's between the 46, potentially might only hit the 0.382. I believe it's going to be higher, most likely 0.5 to somewhere between here. Then at that point, then we will either decide to break those marks, continue higher, or we're going to get rejected there. And if we start coming down hard, there's a very good chance we're probably going to retest 20,000, which is our previous high. That wouldn't be too out of the ordinary, but it definitely will set us back another 4 to 5 months of slowness, in my opinion. But basically, just using this indicator right here, this tells us that each time this has happened, it's pumped. So for me not to believe that's going to happen here would not be good. Just using the past data, of course, anything can happen here. But as we can see, it's been a very, very weird pattern. This pattern right here is it's not even a pattern in the playbook. Surprisingly, I know like 40 different patterns, and this one's not even a pattern. People will say, well, this is a bear flag, this is a descending channel, this and that. It is a descending channel, but that's not really a pattern. That's just showing, okay, prices between these marks. So this isn't even a pattern. For it to be a bear flag, we would have had to have an upward consolidation here. Then a break right here would send us down. So this right here is just a really weird pattern. And I'm going to go over to a regular clean chart just so I could show you guys this right here. If you look back in history, we've really never seen anything like this. a big drop and then sidewards, downwards consolidation. I'll scroll back all the way, and there's really never been anything. This right here was kind of it, but not really, because we've had now like 5 lows continuing down. So this is really something completely new. We've had this after a pump. This is kind of similar, but never after a dump. Each time after a dump, we make up our mind very quickly, especially down at the top of the 2017 run. You know, our mind was made up quickly. We've been sitting in here for nearly 55 days now, and everybody's, you know, you go on whatever social media, everybody's calling for something different. So in times like this, we have to await the breakout. Sure, we could trade the range, but as I was saying before, we need to break this big mark right here, the $39,000 to $40,000 mark, this right here, and then we will be confirmed in a short-term uptrend, potentially midterm. But right now, this has just been very, very flat and slow. As we can see, it's been super, super slow. But a good thing is that if I draw this here, we have broken below our green trend line, which I showed you guys a while ago. But if we put on the linear chart, it is a little bit different story. But basically, we have broken below it. It's not that good, but this right here is the good thing that we have happening right now. We did just get a break of our near 2-month trend line. As we can see, this was a false breakout. This was not a false breakout because we just came down and confirmed it as support now. So basically, we need to see this break over here. Me and Sim sent a trade from here to here. Played out nicely, but we did reverse very strong. And I did show you guys before that we do have very low volume. I'll pull that up right now. The volume is just super, super, super low. And as we can see right here, we did actually just get a bounce today, which that is good. I didn't see that today. This is July 5th, and we were in a downtrend since, we could say from up here, but really since June 22nd. So it's been nearly 2 weeks since we broke that downtrend, and on the bright side, we did. So this shows that something is happening soon. Something will be happening soon. So you guys need to stand by. We'll continue to update you guys on everything we're seeing, but I just want to point out that low volume, if you guys are wondering, people will say, oh, that means we're going to dump, oh, that means we're going to pump. Well, guess what? It can mean both. And to say you know exactly what it's going to do, that'd be wrong. But basically, if we see that we have this low volume, we wait for a breakout, just like we did right now, and then we're going to trade the breakout. So even though we do have this pump right here, price hasn't reacted too much, but as we can see, last time we were this low in volume was really December to November. So if you look back here, look, that was before our big breakout. So we can't say that's going to happen, but that shows that, you know, there could be low volume before a big dump. Just like right here. See this volume right here? This was super low volume. Super low volume. We had a little bit of downtrend even from right here. Volume continued to decrease, and bam, then we had super big volume after we dumped. So it shows that we can have kind of similar things right here. I think the indicator started right here, so we can't really use past that, but that is something to keep in mind. I don't usually use volume too much, but in times like this, I do want to take a look at it, and I believe that this is saying 3.3. I don't think that's not a correct, accurate reading of it, but yeah, that's pretty much the overall view on Bitcoin right now. It might be a little bit short and not too conclusive, but see, we can't do that. We got to say that this is the trend line, because as we can see, if we just use that wick, which I don't usually like to use wicks, but in this case I do, use this bounce right here, and look, we respected it, but then right here we broke below it. So basically, I'll clear this up real quick, move this over here. I'll show you guys right here. We are in this descending channel right here. This is just a descending channel. We can continue pulling this. It's respected it very well. As we can see here, I'll pull this even a bit higher for you guys. 1, 2, 3, false breakout, 4, 5. 5 rejections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 support holds. So this shows that this is a very respected, we can't call it a pattern, but shape right here. So if you guys draw this on your chart, when we get a clear breakout and retest, that's going to be that for Bitcoin. Whether it's below, when we start seeing that, we'll be sounding the alarm. We're going to make a lot of money on the shorts. If you're holding, hopefully either, we're not going to tell you investment advice at that point, but, you got to make your own decision at that point. But we can hedge our losses by entering shorts around this mark. This is a little bit low. If we start coming down here, we might get a little shorts down to here. But overall, the big short for Bitcoin, if it does break below, which me and many other people think that's the less likely scenario, that will be the case. We will still be able to make money on those shorts. But what I'm looking for here is, let me draw my next support here. This is the daily time frame, just to show some good data here. I'd like to see something like this. If we see this right here, I'd say perfect. We're out of our consolidation we've been in since nearly May 17th. I'm sure there'll be many other indicators that will show that, which I'll pull some up right now. I'll just pull up the MACD. Many people don't use that, but in times like this, it could be useful. But as we can see, we did break our MACD trend line. So if we draw just a simple trend line, if you guys don't believe, you could still use trend lines on indicators. They do work well. We like to draw it here, not include that would throw it off. But we have broken this. But what we need to see is we need to see us revisit this positive value. See, this is negative value right here. See this mark right here? We're sitting at like negative 1,000. We need to get above this zero mark. Even though we're ticking bullish, we need to get above this zero mark. The histogram is kind of flat. I would like to see some big pumps like this. But basically, if we do follow something like this, I'd have to bet that the MACD would look pretty much something like that. And at that point, we'd be above the zero mark. We'd be above our 37K, 36.7 resistance, which has stopped us very, very much. We've got multiple rejections there, one right there, one right there, one right there. And at that point, it will be clear for us to buy into some alts. Even if we're just trading some spot alts, we'd like to ride them up to at least here, potentially up to these marks that I was pointing out here. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. I know it's boring again. When we did our live stream over here, I was basically saying the same thing, and since then, not much has happened. So don't feel like you've missed much the past month even. It's been a very slow time. We have supports drawn here. But basically, I can't say exactly the path, but that is what I'm likely aiming for. And then at that point, we'll be able to trade it accordingly. Simon's been sending some alt signals, which is great. But to see some big moves on, the general alts like Link, Cardano, BNB, Litecoin, XRP, things like that, we need to see Bitcoin above the 37 to 40K mark. Once that happens, then it's going to be a clear move, and we likely are going to see at least a week or two of uptrending. Hopefully it's longer. Hopefully we continue uptrend and back up here. That'd be great. But if we do just hit somewhere around here, then turn around, that would be that. Continue to have trades, but at least we're out of this range because it's been a very boring month and a half. So that's pretty much that on Bitcoin. If you guys do have any questions, send them in right now before I move on. Simon, anything to add on Bitcoin? What are you seeing as well?
Based on the chart that I sent out for the trade, guys, I'm going to refer back to that real quick. When we get to this, I have a triangle drawn out, and I'm looking for a break of that triangle. And this triangle started forming as of the 22nd, or maybe even the 15th of June, right? And it's coming to a close, so I'm getting a little tight, so I'm starting to break out of the range. And based on on-chain analytics that Don kind of shared in this chat and the first chart that he shared, I'm personally thinking we might see a move up to 40-ish K, maybe 42 as well. And then we'll decide if we hold there or not, depending on momentum, volume, based on a variety of factors. But that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Not to sound too bullish, just as a BF, but let's see which side we break out to.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point, Simon. This is the triangle you're referring to?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Simon is right here. We kind of had a false breakout here. We've had some more false breakouts. We could adjust it a little bit here. We are kind of playing with it. Some people will draw it up here. You could draw it up here, but generally this is kind of a median area where we could draw it. And based on this, Simon's right, we really do have until the beginning of the 7th, which is basically a day and a half. And then at that point, we will see the next move on the short term. So that's a good thing to add there. Now I'm going to take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum is the main mover for the altcoins. Let's see what I have on Ethereum here. So if you guys watched my last live stream, I think it was 2 weeks ago because I was gone the last week, I was showing you guys this trend line right here, and I think we did. It was about right here. We think we broke nearly below, or we were up here about to break it, but we did fully break that trend line. This trend line is a 6.5 month trend line, 190 days. So the fact that we're under it is not a good sign, but hopefully we can regain that because what Simon shared today, the Ethereum trade, we did technically have a break and retest. If we could draw a few different trend lines. Could have one right there. Can also have one right here, and we've technically broken and retested both. If we see, I'll put it down a little smaller time frame, and we are respecting this. I haven't moved these zones in a while. I believe I drew them somewhere back here, somewhere over here, and as we can see, we have respected this. We try to hold it multiple times. We couldn't. There is another zone right here that I do not have drawn. This provided support on the beginning of July. As we can see, this was resistance right when we broke through, confirm that. And as we can see, these were 2 rejections right here on Ethereum. So if we look at this right here, these were 2 engulfing candles, rejections. But when we did break that, look, we just technically retested that. So that is a great sign. And both trend lines I could draw were just retested. I can't draw anymore. So as we can see, we could draw them down right here. We broke it up here. We could draw one right here. We broke it down here. We could draw this one, and then we could draw this one right here. We can have another trend line right here, but this is kind of just a horizontal resistance line, which is generally around the $2,800 mark. But overall, we are looking to get over this mark, 2350, and next we'd have to see. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good now.
Okay. But yeah, as I was saying, we do still have a lot of resistances to break through. We need to get above this area right here. We have this trend line right here. This trend line is very, very important. And when we regain this, I will be in a super bullish mindset on the overall altcoin market. I'm sure at this point, this would be Bitcoin around 38 to 40K. So at that point, it'd be great. But as we can see, for us to continue our uptrend, and many people believe, we're going to hit 5,000 potentially the end of the year, mid next year, we need to get back on this trend. Right when we diverted in a parabolic way, we came right back down. It set us below, as we can see. But if we could regain this, then we're back in our trend. It'd be great, and I'd say the bull run will continue. But right now, we do need to get these breaks above here. So that is what the simple playbook on Ethereum is. This right here is promising, having this retest. If I get this trend line out of here, just to show you guys in a clean way, that is a retest. So that is good. And I was getting a bit concerned that we had a descending triangle being formed right here. So that is a good sign that we did break out of this, because as we can see, this is kind of a textbook descending triangle right here. But we are above it right now. So this is good. If we fall back below, I would get more concerned. I'd say we're going to retest at least 1950. If we break 1950, we're going straight back to 1740. I believe that to be the less likely scenario based on multiple indicators I've looked at, but that is something to always keep in mind. We can't form a bias in times like this, because that allows you to pick your direction and not make money in both ways if you're trading it. So right now, we are looking at this confirmation. This is a great sign. We are free of nearly a month-and-a-half downtrend. So, this is the first sign to a trend change. If I go see if I have any indicators on here. This is the MACD. The MACD does look a little bit bullish, but we could always pop right back up and continue up, because we did break our downtrend some time ago. We broke it June 27th. So it was about a week. a little bit over a week ago, which is another good sign. But before I move on to anything else, I'm going to look at just look at some simple indicators right here. This is stochastic. This is regular RSI. And once I clean this up for you guys in a second, then we will take a little look at these. Just to have an overall analysis. Let's get the MACD out of here. We already took a look at that. See what the on-balance volume is looking like as well. And general overvalue volume as well. Okay. So same thing, I'll start off with volume. Same thing with Bitcoin. Look, volume's super, super low. We haven't seen volume like this since April. Bitcoin's was way long ago, but we haven't seen this since kind of April. This tells us something big is happening. We draw this downtrend right here. We need to see a breakout of this. Many people will say, you can't draw that, but you could use trend lines in nearly anything. You could use them on RSI, you could use them on MACD, you could use them on stochastic, many different things you could use them on. And same thing with the MACD, we did break over that, and we did slightly have a confirmation. So there are many bullish signs right now that tell us we're going to continue going higher. Above the 50 line is bullish, that's great to see. As we can see, we've had a little bit of rejection right here around the 62. So if you're using an RSI, I never use any of these solely, just kind of, I just put them all together to see a good view of everything. But we would like to see something like this get strength, have a new high. At that point, I would say we have a good shot at breaking through this zone. But let's get that out of there. Stochastic isn't really showing us much. It's kind of just ranging. We are coming down here, but when in times like this, we can bounce at any time. So I'm not going to go too much into this. On balance volume does show that looks like we might have a bounce here pretty soon. And the reason why I say is because just the curl to it right here. We have this trend line right here. This trend line right here has technically created a falling wedge pattern. And I like to use patterns and trend lines in nearly everything. And if I look at this, I would say that we have a falling wedge, which is bullish, and we did just break out of it. So that is a good sign, because as we can see, when price is going up, on balance volume is going up. We hit our all-time high in on balance volume when Ethereum did. As we can see, continued going higher, hit an all-time high, kind of went sideways. These continue to make all-time highs. We've kind of resorted all the way back down to zones on February 4th. February 4th was around 1700, but price is at 2200, so there's a little bit of a bullish divergence there. So that is also good to see. But as for the volume, like I said, this just shows that you just stay vigilant, because we're going to see something happen here pretty soon. Let's take a look at these volumes as well. This is spot volume. Spot volume's looking the same as Bitcoin. We had a lot of going on here. We've kind of been flatline here. And same thing here. See all this volume right here? We're just low. So we're waiting this breakout. And we have the breakout on our pattern, but we need the breakout of this zone right here. We're looking at anywhere from 2300 to 2500. If we could break and clear this, if we could see something like this, that's going to be great for us to potentially see over 3,000 again, maybe August, September, potentially even the end of July. If we continue up this bullish momentum, we could very, very well see it. But either way, even if we get another pullback right here, we test here, get a little bit of consolidation, then come back up, that'd be great to see as well. So that's something that I will be watching, and we'll let you guys know if we see anything happen on that side of things. But that's basically what I'm seeing on Ethereum. So I hope you guys like those two overviews. If you guys do have questions, send them in now. If you guys want me to look at anything specific, also send it in now. Because generally, and like I told you guys last time, when things are slow like this, there's really no point of me looking at the altcoins that kind of follow the whole mood, because most altcoins, they're generally doing the same thing, and I'll show you guys why right here. This right here is like 50 altcoins. We have 50 altcoins right here. If I go down on the 15-minute chart, see generally we have kind of the same trends on all of them. They make lows, they make highs, they make lows, they make highs. This right here is compound. Compound is leading the pack, and unfortunately, DOT is kind of the low right now. Since June 15th, DOT is the lowest gainer, and as we can see, as we go higher and higher, these are the rest of the pack, which unfortunately you can't see them all. But if you guys want to take a look at this, it is kind of cool to look at sometimes. This just kind of shows, you know, since what date is their strong coins and is their weak coins. So I'll go from the beginning of May, and we'll just take a look at these real quick. Matic's the strongest. Matic has held the best since the beginning of May. ADA, Ethereum, Wave, Sol, Yearn Finance, Algo, Comp, Doge. Those are our top 8 coins that have held the best throughout this massacre. If we go from the beginning of June, our worst gaining coins are Horizon, Link, Matic, XLM, EOS, Dent, Doge. So as we can see, we kind of have a mix here. But see, Link, Matic, these things were, you know, very strong a few months ago. But since June started, the past kind of month and a week, these are the least. Now this is only out of the top 50 altcoins, but still, it's still something to look at. It's very, very interesting. We have XRP kind of in the middle here, down 34%. Generally, we see anything from down nothing to down 40%. So this is very interesting. Anything up here, see Waves since June has been great. KuCoin has been great. Comp, Sol. This is something to look at to see strong coins. Algo, Atom, Bitcoin's kind of right in the middle there. So it already dropped a lot. TRX, BNB, BSV. So just want to show you guys that. It can be interesting once in a while. But I'm going to go over to the crypto total market cap. And I'll wait if you guys have questions or if you guys want me to look at something specific. Feel free to send it over because like I said, these are flexible. You know, if this was a few months ago and we were still in a nice bull trend, I'd have a nice laid out plan. But when times are like this, there's, you know, I could be redundant on certain things because a lot of them have the same moves. So that is just something to keep in mind, that if you have a specific altcoin you want me to take a look at, feel free to send it in there as I'm going through this right here. So as we can see, this right here is the total crypto market cap. And we have a falling wedge pattern that has formed. Not the cleanest, but is a falling wedge. And same thing with Ethereum. We just got that breakout and we just got that confirmation. So this is a great sign. This, I made a little idea today on TradingView because I believe that this could be a trend changer. We could see something like this, or you know, it's obviously not gonna look just like this. We could just see a nice uptrend over the next month or two. So this right here, I like to look at times like this. These could be, you know, I'm not going all in. I'm not buying a bunch of things. I'm not long and everything. But I just like to look at the days that show, okay, we just broke a long trend line. This might set a trend for a long time. Just like when Bitcoin was at 60K and it broke below 59 and 58 and 56, it broke that 4-month trend line. In the back of my mind, I said, okay, this could set a trend for the next few months. And here we are now 2 months later, you know, that was the time to say, okay, this could be a big shift. And I will say, you know, based on what I've seen before, this could be a big shift. This could be a big shifting day. The past few days over here, all in this zone, this could set, you know, as we can see, we had down here. This can be the time when we start reviving. Or, you know, we could turn back around, continue our downtrend, and we look for signs like this again. But for me to ignore this, it's not right. So I do want to point out that we have a bullish falling wedge. The reason why it's a falling wedge is because we have both trends sloping and they come to an apex. We didn't get as low as we needed to. Sometimes they'll go to the end, break out, but you won't see that likely. And as we can see, we did just break out. This is the complete total market cap. So this is showing us an overview of everything. So this is very, very cool to see because this is, you know, thousands of coins all put in one index, kind of like the S&P 500. You know, it tracks 500 stocks. So instead of having to look at every stock, it will give you an average of what they're all doing. So that's why I do like to reference this. And times like this, I reference it a lot because they're generally doing the same thing. So as we can see, we have this moving average right here. This moving average is the let's see what this is. Oops. The moving average right here is the 50 12-hour moving average, and we've been stuck under this for nearly 2 months, since May 15th right here. This is kind of when we broke it. It's been 50 days, almost 2 months. So as we can see, we've had a rejection here, false breakout, slight rejections, and we just had another rejection. So we need to get above this. I didn't look at moving averages on anything else, but we do need to be starting to trade under this. And at that point, we do have resistance here, but this is our high confluence zone. If we put on our volume profile range, it's basically exactly right there. It is showing it a little bit lower, but it's basically right here to right here. This is kind of where there's a magnet that if we do see that breakout, we're likely going to see a pump right up to there. So that is something I'm keeping an eye on, and I do want to draw one other trend line which will set us back. So if we see a strong revival off here and we get consolidation, strong revival, confirmation, we're likely going anywhere from right here. This to right here will be a very high confluence trade because this is where a lot of liquidity and volume sits, and at that point we would be able to take longs anywhere up here, anywhere over here. You know, we have some more resistance, but that is what I'd be looking for if we get this breakout. We're not fully there. We did get the breakout of here, but we still need the breakout of the horizontal resistances. As we can see, this is really the big important one, about 1.46 trillion. And by the time we get over there, this might be kind of influence right here. If we get this breakout, instantly going somewhere between here. Could be a little bit more specific, you know, could pull it down a little bit right here, but we are looking for a large move right when we get that breakout. So that move will probably be about 15% on average. Some coins might do 12%, some coins might do 30% on that breakout. Some might even do 50, 60, 70%. But that is what I'm looking for. We're almost there, and we would like to see something like that for us to take high risk to reward trades, and for us to maybe buy a few more spot alts for potentially a swing trade, or you know, a longer term hold if this gets broken. So overall, that's what I'm seeing on the total crypto market cap, and then we'll go over the altcoin market cap real quick. And if nobody wants to see anything specific, then we'll wrap it up. And you know, if you guys have questions, start sending them in now. But overall, you know, I don't want to waste anybody's time saying the same things over and over again. But I am trying to cover everything that you guys are interested in, and I'm just telling everybody that in a conclusive way, overall, everything I've been saying is get ready, because we are looking like we might see a strong breakout pretty soon, and a lot of signs are pointing up. So that is a very, very important thing. So let's see here. Let's look at one last thing before I do switch over, is we did break that RSI trend. As we can see, we had two false breakout here, but we had another technically confirmation, because on the RSI they're not as clean as price, but we could say that the trend line's right there. So that is another good sign. So now we'll look at the altcoin market cap, and then if you guys want to look at any other coins, we will take a look at those. Haven't looked at this in a bit, but as we can see, I presented a few different types of price movements right here, and we technically followed this one, but we started off following this one. We hit similar area, but since then we have revived back up. So let's take a look here. I'm going to clear this up so I haven't drawn on this exact layout in a bit, but even just showing this a clean chart, you know, we could see a similar thing that we just saw on the complete total crypto market cap. If you guys are wondering, this is everything but Bitcoin. That includes Bitcoin. This is everything but Bitcoin. So if we look at this right here, we have this 50-day MA, 50 12-hour MA, my bad, still acting as resistance, 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 since May 17th instead of 15th. So that is something to keep in mind. You know, if you guys want to draw this exact one, then go ahead and do that, because this is a very, very important line, and we will likely see strong moves once we clear and create candles above it. we will see strong moves. Some people don't use these, but I don't use them too much, but they are useful in times like this. So let's take a look here. I believe I'm seeing a similar thing. Yeah, so as we can see right here, we kind of had the same thing that we just saw on the total crypto market cap. This bottom trend has held us each time we've dropped. This top trend has resisted us each time we've tried, besides right now. So we do have our first line trading above that. That's a great sign. And also too, similar to the total crypto market cap, as we can see, we did break that trend line. So there are many signs that this might be the start of another trend. This might be the day that we start finally a short-term to mid-term uptrend after literally 55 days of downtrending. You know, it could just be a short term, it could be a long mid-term, could even be a long term. You know, we could have another 6 months, but we have to do that analysis when the time comes, because right now I can't predict exactly. But just to show you guys what I'm trying to say here is, look at this right here. So if you guys see how this is similar right here, see how this is similar? We draw our downtrend, we break out, we confirm. Okay, consolidating below it, we break out, we confirm. Look what happened after this. That was this right here. This is what I mean about this could be a time that we set a whole new trend. Because look, right there, that would have been the buying of a lifetime. Open up 100x longs right here, and bam, look at this. So I'm saying that we could be at a time just like this. See, this is even showing very similar. We have, you know, one big wave, 2, 3, 4, one big 2, 3. You know, we might get a fourth, but overall, you know, it doesn't have to be exact, but it does show a very similar thing. And I can continue showing you guys, you know, pretty much the same concept right here. This is a little bit smaller one, but look, we had this breakout confirmation. Look right here, we went from 53 billion up to 100 billion. We did almost 120% after. So we are seeing this right here on the altcoin market cap. This is very important to see, and I do want to point out that if you guys look right here, we held the support very well. I'm sure you guys remember, I pointed this out. I said if we break below this, it's not going to be good, but we did hold very well. We didn't even have to touch this line right here. We kind of just wicked very sharp, went right back in our pattern. So this is a great sign. I just showed you guys on a simple RSI. People say the RSI doesn't work, but look, if you know how to use it, it does work. And I've been using it for many years, and it's never really steered me wrong. You just have to learn how to use it. It doesn't work the best on stocks, but on cryptos, it does work. It works very, very well. So I do want to point that out. And the last thing before we move on to XRP, because I see that someone would like to take a look at XRP, which I will do. Just take a look at the volume right here. This will show us the overall volume of the altcoin market cap. And as we can see, we did hit highs here, kind of like Bitcoin, kind of like Ethereum. Since then, we have been going sideways. So we want to see a big spike above this. And if we do, it's going to be a very, very good sign that we are starting another uptrend. Even though we do have this first sign right here, we do want that last sign of a volume spike, kind of like we saw down here. See down here, this is kind of when the RSI confirmed its uptrend. Look, if we draw the same concept right here, see this volume spike? Bam, volume spike. It wasn't even big, and then look, we started uptrend. So that's what I want to see right there, that volume spike. And then at that point, it will be a very good sign. We would have multiple signs along with us trading above this MA. If we get candles above here, it's going to be a great sign. Our trends have shifted, and we could turn a little bit bullish outlook. And at that point, you know, we got to see what's next. So hope you guys enjoyed all that. We'll wrap it up generally. Then I'll take a look at XRP and Aave. Muck wants me to look at that. We'll take a look at these real quick. Let's see here. I think I have a cleaner chart of this. Okay, let's see here. So this right here is XRP USDT on an 8-hour chart. Last time I did analysis on this, I said downtrend still needs to break, and technically we broke over it technically we broke over it and we just confirmed it. Also, like many different things. Saw that on Ethereum, saw that on Bitcoin. Actually, no, we did. Well, we did not see that in Bitcoin. We saw that in total crypto market cap, but XRP is showing something very similar. But if I do draw the falling wedge, because I am spotting one right now, we most likely are just kind of playing with it right now. Let's see here. This is a big falling wedge right here, but this will show what's happening. As we can see, if I make this the cleanest it could be, we are still under it. So I do want to point that out. We are still under it. This is looking at it nearly exactly like the total crypto market cap, besides we had a lower low here. And if you guys are wondering, this was a little bit concerning, but we bounced right back above, and we are trading above our previous resistance. So as long as we can get this break to this next zone right here, which this is about the 72 cent, we need to hold that because we have yet to be able to. And then our next area is the 80 cent. So at that point, you know, this is one of the top 10 coins, so this is going to act just like most of the coins. But we do have another trend line right here. If you guys see this right here, we have this trend line. Basically the same thing as this, but just a little bigger view. We need to break this. This is a bit different than some of them, but we do need to break this. Put on some moving averages. We might have a resistance. No, we don't even have resistance yet on these moving averages, but let's see. I kind of do on the 58-hour moving average. We are kind of trading above it for the first time actually since, you know, May 17th exactly. So it just shows that many of the things are pretty much exact. So this right here is the area. In a simple way to wrap it up on XRP, we need to break 66 to 71, trade above it, then we're free. If we break below 63.8, 64, and we're stuck, it's not going to look good. We're likely going to test 57, potentially 53 again. All right, I'll look at Aave and then Simon. If you want to add anything, feel free. See, now this is good sign right here for the altcoins. Look at this volume spike. See this right here? This is this straight broke out of that downtrend right there. That's a great sign. Huge breakout. Trend lines completely broke. See that confirmation? Double confirmation. Bam. Set us free. Our next resistance we're looking at, let me draw some support resistances here on Aave, because this is juicy. This is looking good. We are up 14% right now. It says trading view. We did break over this very important line, which actually, let's see. I did have a chart drawn somewhere else. Might be on my purple one. If it's not, I'll redraw them. But I did have a clean chart already drawn on this. Okay. Looks like we will have to redraw. But as we can see, this was our very important zone. So this is a great sign, guys. If you guys are wondering, this is our first step to the complete market cap going over, because as we can see, most altcoins are still down here or right here. Ethereum's right here, XRP's down here, XLM, you know, some other weaker coins are down there. But this right here is a great sign, because this is showing us we do still have strength in the market. Usually when we enter bear markets, we don't see things like this. We really don't see things like this. Everything will just be dead. Of course, you'll get little coins going here and there, but this is a top 100 coin, so we do have to take eyes on this. But as we can see, we had resistance at 250, blew right through. Resistance at 277, blew right through. Now we need to hold and form this candle. We got 32 minutes before this 8-hour candle closes. If we get a retest of this zone, probably likely 300 zone. But if we could hold above here, technically Aave is already in an uptrend. So I want to tell you guys that right now. We are in a confirmed uptrend for Aave. That doesn't mean we're going to continue going right to the sky, but it shows the trend did shift Don't have any indicators on here, but if I show you guys, probably on a bigger sign, the MACD. I like to use the MACD for a trend shifting area. As we can see, yep, right here. See how we've cleared above the 0 mark, and we're now in positive range just like this. We're doing this for the first time since May 20th, 2 months. So this shows we are in an uptrend on AVE. This is a great sign, but we do have a lot of resistance coming up. So this isn't saying this is about to make new highs, but this is saying that, okay, we're technically in a you know, it's maybe a tail end like this, something like this, maybe even a nice trend like that. But if you guys are trading this, I'll draw the support and resistances real quick because these are important. These are really our important zones to be watching. Of course, we have smaller ones. I'm looking at an 8-hour though. I'll even go to the 1 day to show you guys this. See, uptrend, sideways, downtrend, broke down all trend lines. We do still have one more to break, kind of right here, which we will be testing that along with the resistance. But this is a good sign, guys. If we can stay above 300 on AAVE, it's going to be great, and we would likely see higher price movements. And I'm anticipating this to be something like what's going to be happening with other coins. And I'll show you guys exactly why here. If we pull out Ethereum, if we put Ethereum over this, it's actually not the best coin to show over this. Maybe XRP would be a good one. Let's see here. Let me get a little smaller time frame here. As we can see, you see how this is generally the same, but you see right here, this is where it changed. See, this is generally kind of the same movement, kind of actually made similar highs right here, both at a downtrend. Kind of were in the same place right here. Both hit the same low, consolidated, came up. We had that double confirmation. This thing's taken off. XRP still flat. So this could be an indicator we're going to see that those pumps in those other altcoins. So I'm glad I took a look at this coin. But all right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed all that. If you guys, I'll wait a few more minutes to see if you guys have anything else that you guys want to take a look at. But it's nearly been 45 minutes to an hour now. So I hope you guys enjoyed all of that. And like always, we will continue updating in the crypto charts. But Simon, you want to add anything?
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much, Dom, for all that. I think you found some pretty cool signs there that might be indicating that we might be suddenly hinting towards a bullish uptrend in a lot of altcoins, and that's something we discussed earlier in our call, Dom, as well. So thanks for highlighting that. I think we're gonna try and capitalize on that. I was looking at some prices all myself. I'm thinking if Ethereum can hold the trade, or Ethereum trades does well, then I'm probably gonna give some target on if we can start buying coins again. So let's keep an eye out for that. We're gonna have more future trades as well. So keep an eye out for that as well, guys. And yeah, if you guys don't have any questions, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope you guys found this useful and insightful. If you did, please drop a thumbs up. Thank you in the live session questions. And yeah, have a great day, guys.
Yeah, thank you for that, Simon. Yeah, I'll wait a few more minutes, guys. If you guys do want to ask anything, go ahead. Anything you're wondering, because of course this market can be confusing, and I hope to help you guys and guide you throughout your journey to success. Let me think here if we have anything else.
Oh, by the way, guys, I am highly bullish on QNC. So keep an eye out on that one. I think especially as regulations kick in the UK and in Canada, I think that is really good for QNC and there will benefit there. So just something to keep an eye out for as well coming days and weeks. So I'm gonna look at ICP real quick for me.
Yeah. All right, ICP is actually looking good. We have a beautiful bull pennant. Beautiful, beautiful bull pennant. Basically, I'm looking for a break and a few candles above 47.90, 47.80, and then I'd say that this is a juicy long all the way up to minimum 55. And we have multiple targets. I mean, there's a lot of revival to be done on this thing. Unfortunately, it got released at the worst time, and we dropped 94%. This thing had an entire 3-year bear market in 2 months, but since it's low, it's up nearly 70%, I believe. Yeah, it's up 70% since it's low. Volume did spike heavy right here. It is dropping down, so not too much to be seen on there. Can't even use indicators that much on here just because, you know, it's a newly listed chart. But as I was saying, if you guys are looking for some trades on this, it is actually looking pretty, you know, trend shifted, looking decently bullish right now. But overall, if you are looking for a trade, I'd say to enter that once we get a reconfirmation or a big candle above the 48 mark. Right now we're at what, 46.70, because that right there would confirm our downtrend line. We already broke this downtrend line, I believe, but on our, yeah, we already broke over this downtrend line. But if we do see the break, see, I could draw this trend line from here, here, it's the same area. By the time we get over here, you know, it'll be right about the 48, 49. I'd like to see big candles over here and to be traded above here. And then at that point, we have a nice long to 55, potentially looking at maybe even 70 depending on the market. So this is looking good, and I have a very strong feeling that this probably is bottom by now. I don't think that ICP will go lower unless we enter a super bearish trend again. If you guys want to see how this bullish divergence works, they always work so well. As we can see, we had 3 new lows here, but look, strength index was showing us 3 new highs. And then we use a simple trend line to enter that trade. Could draw it right down here. Look at that, right when we broke out, bam, we're looking at about 30 bucks. We could have wrote it all the way up to 60 as a 100% trade right there. Is that good, Simon?
Yeah, thank you so much. That looks good. I might scoop some more if we break over 48.
Yeah, that's looking good there. That is looking good. So this is the logarithmic. I really can't look at on the linear, so it just looks like, whew. Yeah, I appreciate that, Simon. Yeah, thanks again, everybody, for watching. I hope you guys all enjoy it, and I hope you guys can get some good benefit from them.